Hello dear students and my audience, very warm welcome to Dr. Ahmed YouTube channel. Today in this video we shall be discussing critical discourse analysis as a mode of analyzing text in quantitative researches basically, and sometime in the qualitative researches as well. So in this video we will be able to understand discourse, and then it is the about analysis, on what basis it should be done. There's no practical example given in this video. For this purpose you need to watch another video which is coming up next. So first of all, we are going to talk about critical discourse analysis. According to a few definitions, discourse is the language written or spoken about the sentence or clause, the language perceived to be meaningful, the language as a social practice. So it means that discourse is a language type, is a kind of language piece which may be written or may be spoken, but it can be most of the time like a sentence or like a clause. This should be meaningful as well, and it should be used in certain social practices as well. If language has been created or produced in that way, it is termed as the discourse. Discourse can also be talked about in these following senses. That first of all, discourse is discussing and checking and analyzing the similarities, anaphora, and coherence in a text. And after that, it goes to talk about the turns of the text and certain utterances during the speech of a person. There, during the writing or the speech of a person, the timing is also important, and it's also important what the person is going to say next. And then the speech acts. What are the styles of a person to talk about? How does he want to convey his point of view? Then pragmatically does he talk about, or simple way? What are the pragmatics involved into that? Then it is also to be seen in the discourse, what are the ways of production and why this production is being done. And after that, the same production, how it is being received. And if it's not production in the form of orality or in the form of verbs, it may be possibly in the form of semiosis. That means semiotics. That means certain picture or certain symbols are given, which are also given with a specific purpose. So discourse can be understood in these terms as well. The famous critics like theorist and critics of this field, Van Dyck, he has also defined CDA. According to him, CDA involves studying and analyzing written and spoken text. Why it should be studied and analyzed? To reveal the discursive sources. I mean the sources which have been used in order to understand their meaning, why they have been used in that way, in a specific way. And these sources can be power, dominance, inequality, and bias. CDA goes to examine all these discursive sources and how these are maintained and how these are reproduced. Also CDA studies this one as well, and how these are utilized in order to obtain specific social and political purposes in the historical context. That is also the part of CDA according to Van Dyck. Similarly, when we proceed further, we have a definition from Fairclough as well. According to Fairclough, the CDA, or the critical discourse analysis, involves to explore the relationship between the causality and the determination. I mean, what is the cause of happening of something and what is determined through that. Similarly, according to him, discourse is a type of process that is involved in the reading of the text, in the understanding of the text. Then it is related to the social and cultural structures of the society in which the text is being produced. And it goes to talk about the relationship between the ideology and the power, how the ideology is working to generate power, and how the power struggle is going on in order to fix itself towards certain specific ideology. And then what are the gray areas? What is the opacity between the power and the hegemony? That is also the area of discovery of CDA. So CDA is most of the time related with the society, language production, reception, and the discursive practices involved through that. Some of the things have been talked about by Gramsci as well. According to Gramsci, the discourses are most of the time done for the maintenance of power. Sometimes this power is maintained through coercive forces and sometimes through hegemony. Everybody understands coercive forces can be power forces which are used to force the people to accept certain power modes. And hegemony is the willing acceptance of the power of certain things. And according to Gramsci, such discourses are developed for the sake of the power. Through coercive measures or through hegemonic measures, these discourses are popularized. Althusser also gives his input in the same tone by saying that in every society there is one ideology and certain material practices are present on the basis of this ideology. In order to popularize this type of ideology, the social institutions are created, like the school or certain other political and social institutions, which exercise the ideology or the modes of ideology in order to popularize it. When such a thing has happened, we can also say that this is also discourse that is being spread, and that discourse may be critically analyzed in order to discover why it has been done and how the particular ideology has been propagated. Similarly, Foucault has said something too, which is important with respect to understanding of this power, ideology, production, reception via language. He says that knowledge system of human sciences. He says in every society there's a knowledge system designed and structured through the help of the human sciences. These human sciences can be medicine, can be economics, can be linguistics. So definitely language is involved into that when the construction of knowledge is done. Social and governmental technologies are used in order to develop this knowledge, which is related to the power. And all knowledge with respect to medicine, economics, and linguistics are basically meant to induce power in the society and to give a specific face to power. Here again, the discourse is involved, that discourse which is involved with the maintenance, creation, and reception of language for the use of power. Bakhtin also has taught something about this discourse, critical discourse rather. According to him, the language can be understood with respect to the dialogical properties of the text. These dialogical properties are two-way. For example, it is intertextual as well. It means that texts are linked with the chain of the text. And once you write the text, the involvement of other parts of the text into it is very much necessary. And when we react to it, when we draw on it, when we transform or we see that the intertextuality is transforming the language, that time also it becomes critical discourse, which is very much important with the maintenance of the role of text in the creation of these knowledges. Then there's a model given by Norman Fairclough that is called the dialectical relational approach with respect to critical discourse analysis. According to him, three stages are very much essential in critical discourse analysis. His model says that these stages are description, interpretation, and explanation. Description is most of the time related with the formal properties of the text, and interpretation is done on the basis of relationship between text and the interaction. Text as the product of a process of production. It means that for producing of the text or the language, we are involved in a certain process. Here, the resources of these processes are also involved. And in combining these together, we need to interpret the language. And after this interpret, we need to tell the people also, and for telling, we need explanation. Explanation of the language involves relationship between interaction and social context. I mean, people are interacting with each other, but it is to be seen what is the context because of which people are interacting, and what then could be possibly social effects of this interaction. If this is done, that is the DRA, dialectical relational approach model given by Norman Fairclough regarding the discourse analysis. Well, Van Dyck has also given his own type of understanding what that is going to be, what discourse is going to be. And according to his idea, discourse is going to be socio-cognitive approach. So that is the interaction between the cognition of a person and then the society as well. How does that person take the cognition of a certain matter or that of the language, understanding of the language, and in that way it goes to deal with the customary approaches, traditional approaches, which he calls the stereotypes. It also talks about the reproduction of ethnic prejudices, how people take language with respect to the prejudices which are very much related to their ethnicities. And then it talks about the power abuse by the elites and the resistance of the dominating groups. So in both ways, in one way or the other, language goes to represent the conflicting things and the resistance or the efforts and struggles against the power structures, and how these power structures go to talk about that, and how one individual would be understanding that is going to be a Van Dyck's understanding of critical discourse analysis. Discourse analysis according to Van Dyck. So thank you for watching the whole whole video. Hopefully some of the aspects, what is discourse analysis, how it is created, what is done with that, some of the things have been clarified. Hope to see you in some next video, and that will be involving how critical discourse analysis is conducted with some model, with some example, but that will be done in next video. Till that time, keep happy, keep peaceful. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon in some next video.